Hello, this is the video component to the Worbla and foam sword making tutorial. Have fun! So I've drawn the shape of the sword and all the patterns out. I've folded the paper in half and did everything in halves, so when you unfold it, it will all be symmetrical, and I can't handle with this shit with one hand. Bye. There's the bitch. Here we go. And this one is the template for the base shape of the sword. And you cut this one out twice and make it into the foam sword. The harder your foam here, the easier your job will be later on, especially if you are not going to follow this tutorial up to the Worbla section. Okay, this is the base structure of the sword, made from EVA foam, 5mm thick. Now I get my foam in the form of a garage mat from Reject Shop. So you can find these kind of shops around Australia, and if you're outside of Australia, you're on your own, buddy. Now we transfer the paper onto a piece of relatively thin foam. This stuff here is called EVA foam skin. If you're in Sydney, you can get it at Reverse Garbage in Marrickville. If you're in other countries, I do not have a fucking clue. Now this is the painful process of copying all the pattern onto the foam. And I'm a stupid little shit and using black foam, so it's extra hard to see what I've drawn. A few hours later, it's all cut out. My hands hurt. Yes! So this sword has a little contour line down the middle. So what you need to do is cut your hard work in half down the middle and just run some scissors down the edge at an angle. So you just cut a little strip out from the side. So when you put it back together, you'll get a thing down the middle. I don't even know what it's called, but it will be like that. It won't be flat. So you can lie on top of the sword and you'll get the contour line going. Okay, so the details have been glued back together, and I've applied some contact adhesive onto the sword, and now I can just press it together. Okay, so the detail panel has been cut in half, glued back together, and glued back onto the main sword. So it looks like this at the moment. Repeat on the other side, and the blade is done. Yeah! Yeah! Okay, so for the handle detail, I've cut out the stencil 3 times. One as a base, the second and the third one, I've drawn the details onto it and then cut the leveled pieces out and glued them on top, so you've got layers going on. A few hours later, I'm still cutting the details. The leveled details are done. Now I'm just cutting these little crisscross bitches here. And there's one side of the handle done. Looks pretty good. Now I just have to repeat what I've done here on the other side. Okay, assembling the sword now. I've used a Dremel to cut a slit in the PVC pipe and just shoved the handle circle part into it so it's nice and centered. Looks like this. And now just shove the pole into the blade part doing this with one hand. Here's my foot. There we go. And yes, foam structure is pretty much done. I'm just missing the little knob in the middle and the handle details, but I'm going to start worbling now. If you're not following this tutorial up to the Worbla part, this is pretty much ready to finish detailing and paint. So the structural integrity is all in the pole, and just make sure if you want it to be a little bit tougher, just line all your foam pieces with some tough cardboard, and that will be nice and cheap for you. And see you later. Worbla time. Now, to save your wallet and sanity, please just draw the warbler slightly bigger than the surface area of your prop. So that's what I've done here once. I'm going to do that again before heating it up and putting it on. So once you heat up the warbler, it should lose some of its structural integrity. So it's just at first you can let gravity do most of the work, and then you can start pressing it down with your fingers. It does get hot. Have a cry. And after you've pressed all the details down, you get the edge of a ruler and you just press it in. Yeah. Now my foam was a little bit thick, so I got a few tears here, but if you get that, don't worry, you can always patch it up with more Worbla. Yay! Now once you've done with the first side, you do it all again. So now I've moved on to the hilt part. So I've done one side. Fuck yeah. Now onto the other side. Now the main challenge of this design here is these crisscross thingies where it's hollow in the middle. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Okay, so I've heated up the warbler and pressed it down on with my fingers until you can just vaguely see the triangle, and then use a sharp scalpel to draw a T into there, and then you heat up the foam and push in the spare warbler pieces so it joins up on the other side as well. Simple. Once detailing is all done, we need to get rid of all the spare bits. So first need to take a pair of scissors and trim the side, and then heat it up and fold it in. And it's a bit messy now, so you just need to heat it up a few times and rub the seams until it disappears. And it's done! Total working time was about 6 days, a few hours each day. And now it's ready to be puttied, sanded and painted. Oh yeah!